Hello everybody and welcome back to Chronically Fabulous. I'm sorry. It's been a while. I think it's been about 7 weeks since the last time I uploaded a video. By the time this video goes up, it'll have been 2 months entirely. Yeah, today's video is going to be on teenage disability and resumes. More specifically, whether or not to include in your resume whether or not you have it, well, the fact that you have a disability. It's not whether or not you have one. I very recently wrote up my first resume and was like getting ready to apply for a job. And it was a very weird experience for me because for a very long time my mom has said don't say that you have a disability in your resume, not because it's not important information, but because a company may see that and be like, well, this person may cost us more in insurance costs, it's not worth the money. So and it's not just been my mom telling me that, like there's been a lot of people trying to be supportive who have said stuff like that. But it's just been very strange trying to figure out whether or not to include it, because everybody on this channel knows that I'm very open about sex and sexuality. I was actually applying to work at a sex shop because I was like, well, this could be a place that I could actually use my disability to my advantage. Sex in the disability community or disabilities in the sex community are not very openly talked about. They're not huge topics to be talked about, just because for most people it's out of sight, out of mind, and you don't really think about it until you're in a relationship with someone with a disability, or you get into a relationship and you have to talk about your disability. But it is a very important thing to discuss, I think, in the disability community. But I was applying to work at a sex shop, and I was trying to figure out whether or not I should put it in the resume and be like, this is an asset, or I see it as an asset, or leave it out and wait till, this is Dana's suggestion, our roommate, leave it till we actually get what's it called? Oh my god, what's the word? Interview. And bring it up there and be like, oh, and I also have this. But I don't know, it was a very weird moment. I want to know in the comments below whether or not anybody who has a disability watching this video mentions it in a resume or waits. Like, what do you usually do? Or what do you think is like the best course of action? Because as I'm actually not 17, my birthday passed recently. It's one of the reasons I haven't been putting up videos. But as an 18-year-old trying to find a job while having a disability, most jobs for our age group are like retail or something along the lines where you need to either be standing for a very long time or you need to be lifting things a lot. And Emily of Chronically Fabulous cannot do that because my joints are gonna dislocate. Woo! If this is your first video that you're seeing with me, you may want to go back a few videos and like check out some of my other videos where I discuss my disability, so my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome story, things like that. But basically I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Means that, well, I have type 3 Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which basically means that my joints dislocate themselves. It's a great time, it's a good time. But anyway, so let me know what you guys usually do in terms of your resumes, because I'd be very interested to know. And any tips for people who are already working, or from people who are already working, excuse me. Because I want to know how you're treated in your field when you have a disability, because it's not something that I really have any experience with, honestly. The only work that I've ever done was with my mom, because she has her own business. But yeah. Anyway, leave them in the comments down below. My social media will be linked down below, along with my ask. If there are any video suggestions, you can leave them in the comments below. Or if you don't feel like, especially if it's about sex and you don't feel like putting it down in the comments, if you want to leave an anonymous ask question, my Ask FM will be down below. Yeah. I'm Emily from Chronically Fabulous, and I will see you guys next week.